Brought to you by Even Keel Fish Shack.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome bay with shafafa on the side.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Today, we are on the road at one of our favorite places. It is Even Keel Fish Shack Wednesday in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea, the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard. I am joined by Jeff Defo DeForest, Mike Lubie Lubitz, and how are we all doing today? How are our voices doing? Do we have any kind of vocal cord progression going?
Let's let Lubie go first here because I
I
really faded badly earlier this morning. Started out thinking I was going to be okay. First couple of words didn't come out so good. And then we interviewed a guy who was in the Godfather movies, and he thought I was putting him on. He said, okay, stop it with the voice already. I said, this is the best I could do. So I'm all right. I'm hanging in there.
All right, we got to get you one of those like big orange peels you put in your mouth like Brando did when he keeled over at the end of The Godfather.
Yeah.
But,
I feel fine, but the voice is shot. That's about it.
And just say in your best Marlon Brando emotion, they shot Sonny. They killed my boy.
I lost a son. You lost a son. Nothing but great lines in that movie. This is the business we have chosen.
I tell you
Mayo.
what,
This is the business.
I'm not very religious. I don't study the Bible, but I think like everything you need to know about life is in The Godfather. It's almost
doubt.
like the Bible. You could watch it a million times, always get something different out of it. It tells you about loyalty, family.
We're both in the same boat. Just when we thought we were out, they pulled us back in.
They always pull us back in. How are you doing today, Mike Lubitz?
I'm doing well. I decided that'd be fun because he can't talk
He's not
and
drinking.
you are Catholic. So
I'm not Catholic. I'm just giving up something for Lent. We're
you're
allowed
Jewish.
to do that.
You're allowed to do
I
anything.
don't even know if
but
anybody would
He's
call
I don't
me
understand
Jewish.
it.
Conflicted is the word.
I'm Jewish-ish. I
Yeah,
like
exactly.
to
You're
eat
not even
bagels.
He doesn't
Jewish.
have the issue with his
You're not even
sexuality,
Jewish.
fortunately. Otherwise, we might be doing the show with a woman. Who
No,
knows?
I mean, I have all kinds of confusion going, including about the fact that if you see this behind me, people are wondering.
I was
why,
thinking maybe it was
like,
Bonnie's
It's not-
birthday.
birthday.
It's not
Oh,
Bonnie's
we've got
or-
Bonnie in the
and we
house.
love Bonnie.
And thanks
Bonnie
for that. But
is a tremendous supporter.
no.
Oh, you just ruined it. You better suck
There
it out.
goes
there,
the
Mr.
whole
Elliott.
routine.
All right, I wanted to join
Oh,
the
it
Silly
worked, it
Voices
worked.
Club today, and here we are in the lunchbox. We got Mike Lubie Lubitz and Jeff Defo DeForest, and
Good.
I joined the Silly Voice Club. I didn't expect it to be a burst of helium like this.
Oh my!
You literally stuck a fork in it.
And he's done.
Stick a fork in
In
me.
the whole bit.
I
Yeah.
am done. I thought I was going to be able to gently inhale throughout the show,
I thought maybe you could do an hour like that. It'd be great.
but I guess we just got that shtick out of
Your
the way.
voice
Thank
still was the
goodness.
best of the three of us.
I was going to say, it wasn't
Yeah.
that bad compared to the two of ours.
No, that's it. So we're all dealing with our
Our own issues.
throat. Does anybody know an ear, nose, and throat specialist here on the Mayo Clinic show? We've
Yeah,
got
exactly.
you, and your wrist is finally going to be seen by a specialist. Today,
I'm not
maybe?
sure this is going to do any good, but we'll see.
Okay.
But yeah, a week and a half of this nonsense also. So, and now the left wrist is starting to go.
That's usually what happens when
Yeah.
one side
You overcompensate.
does something, the other one compensates by joining the club. I know it happened to me when I had some retinal issues. I had like my daughter one time, I guess it was almost like 12 years ago, poked me in the eye when we were at the beach playing,
Oh, jeez.
and it caused a retinal tear.
Oh,
And
God.
then the other one ended up the next year also, I guess, I don't know why, had a slight tear. It's very strange the way they
Comes in
live by.
pairs, yeah.
Yes. So, we're wishing you the best. Oh, you want to hear about something ironic
Sure.
today, Defo? Because, I always make fun of you and, your advancing years and how you're on the verge of physical and,
I'm pretty
moral
much looking at
decrepitude.
death right now. Yeah. I'm death plus one is my age.
And, I know you get, look, we like to rib each other here on the Lunchbox. We're both from Brooklyn. We could take the needle. We can, give it and take it. But, sometimes you do get a little, I guess, defensive about you call me ageist, and I agree. Sometimes I can be. You know what I did today on the Let's Eat group? I had to remove a comment and sanction somebody for making an ageist remark. So
Oh yeah,
Oh.
it happens.
well, I mean, but I just thought
that may not be the place for it.
I mean, we have rules in place on the group, and when I'm doing the streaming show with you guys, we try to have most of the same rules apply, except for sometimes we let a curse word slip past. But we don't like any kind of nastiness. We say be civil to each other. And this guy on a post where somebody, I think it was a legitimate post about a new Mexican restaurant in Coral Springs that had just opened up. And the guy said, I like the food there, but it's just so darn loud in there. They're always like blasting music, and that just makes everybody scream at each other. And that's one of the things that restaurants do these days is they deliberately play music loud. So the guy made a comment about it, a post about it. And then the commenter said, what is this, a seniors club? Everybody here just likes to complain about noise and crowds. Just stay home. And I was like, okay, that will not stand because.
Oh, that was perfectly viable. What are you talking about? I thought they were talking about the Asian blackjack dealer, which you took a section to, but happens to be true. I mean,
now, talking about Asians, tomorrow we're going to be visiting our friends with Neki Mohan, Christina Wan, not Christine Lee's at Gulfstream, which is one of our favorite
when
places.
you said Christine, I thought that's where we were going 2 days in a row. That would
No,
be nice.
this is Christina Wan's. She has been in Fort Lauderdale at that, close to Victoria Park neighborhood on Federal Highway now since 2005. And before that, she and her family had restaurants in Hollywood and also down in Miami. But Christina Wan is a local legend, great Chinese restaurant. So we're going to be doing the Visit Lauderdale remote show tomorrow. And everybody asks about, where do you get real Chinese, real New York Chinese? This is what I consider, her family came from Hong Kong. They know what they're doing, recipes. They have definitely an Americanized menu where you can have the things like the General Chow's So's chicken.
What's the best way to pronounce that? Defo and I always debate this. Is it General Tso's?
Well,
I
I
think
say
it's General
chow.
Chow's.
Some people say sows.
Because it's Tsao, right? Isn't
I
the
do it
pronunciation?
the real Chinese way, which is Chairman Mao's chicken. So, just bow
Now
down.
you're going to get in trouble.
You're
yeah.
useless.
Why? Is DeSantis now banning speech any references to
I would-
You're
authoritarian
not allowed to
regimes?
mention Chinese food in Florida.
Oh, okay. No, talk about irony alert. Like he's Mr. Freedom is banning everybody doing everything. But we digress into
Anyways,
politics. We
go
don't
back.
do that here on the Lunchbox.
General
Ban
Tso's.
more books and put more guns on the street.
Nah, look, as long as he doesn't touch the poker rooms or casinos, we're good.
I
We're
guess
good.
you're fine.
And as long as I could eat, drink, gamble to my heart's content, take care of my family, and hopefully duck and cover when the day comes.
So it's
You're
real
a
deal New York
changed man
Chinese.
since that big check came hit your bank.
isn't it really?
You're like a whole different guy. I swear to God. I like this Mayo a lot better.
I keep saying it. Whoever said money doesn't buy happiness is a complete
He's a
schmuck
liar.
moron. That's not true.
There's
It
something
buys
wrong
a
with them.
lot of satisfaction, and a lot of
It eases the pain.
Peace of mind. Yeah,
sleeping
gives you
like
some
a
peace of
baby
mind.
again.
Yeah.
I've been on the wagon for the most part for the better part of 5 weeks now, and
Yeah.
I am finally feeling like not having
Feeling
as many
it.
ups and downs, and just feeling like on an even keel, so to speak.
There you go.
And boy, if you are around in the neighborhood, by all means, join my friend Bonnie back there and definitely drop on by. A beautiful day. You can't beat this whole strip here, Lauderdale by the Sea. This is your hood,
Yes, this is
Defo.
Defo's
And of course,
neighborhood.
now we have the obligatory siren every time
There's always
we
something. yeah.
do a remote show. Somebody,
They're taking another senior citizen off the track.
somebody's always checking out at the.
I don't know what you see more of
Oh,
on
no,
days,
wait.
ambulances or golf carts.
Oh man!
I mean, I live up the street. I can vouch for it.
Yeah. So, Even Keel Fish Shack, we love Brad and Dave. They are here open every day. They have the weekend brunch, which is great.
Yeah.
Brad's going to be joining us later on in the show with a couple of their new spring seafood
items.
dishes. Well, I don't know how you feel about springtime dishes, Defo.
Very happy about that. A little ceviche maybe would go good
Yeah,
this
right.
time of
Bring
year.
out a new scallop dish
Some
with
kind
a
of a
new
scallop.
setup.
Scallops are great.
And a new swordfish dish. The swordfish are running
Swordfish,
beautifully.
wonderful. It's the Mustang's favorite. Yeah, what's great? I mean, Brad, when he comes on the show and he starts describing like the dozen ingredients that he put into some sauce that's just almost there as,
like
as
barely
a
there.
garnish. And you're like, really? You put that much into that? No wonder the place is great.
No, these are very accomplished, mindful chefs. And speaking of that, today's a big day for the whole chef community in
James
South
Beard.
Florida, because the James Beard Foundation is announcing their finalists, the final nominees for all the various awards that they give out at a big gala
This is
affair in
nationwide.
July.
It's nationwide.
Nationwide, but a lot of
The
a
regional-
bunch of chefs from South Florida are in various categories, both nationwide categories, and then there's the regional best chef in the South that a whole bunch of locals are in, including our friend Timon Ballou down at the Catherine in Fort Lauderdale. We're rooting hard for him. Now, they were going to be releasing it on an Instagram thing, and it seems like it's glitching up because they started, and it's very torturous for these chefs because it's like they released like the first category and then another one 2 minutes later, and I thought it was going to be a steady stream, and it's just like frozen.
It's like the transmission of the show from Grandpa's.
Get a little glitchy, and I'm sure there's a lot of chefs that are very much, they're on pins and needles now. So we're going to be monitoring that. We hope that somebody
That'd be
from
amazing,
South
yeah.
Florida makes it through to the final stage because so many talented chefs down there, well deserved that somebody would be, get through to the finals. So we'll be monitoring that today. The other thing is, you talk about Brad and all the things he puts into different ingredients, the sauces, and he has
Additions he makes,
very
yeah.
mindfulness thing. I wanted to ask you about something I'd never seen before. And I called him out on it right on the show last Friday, Tony Segreto, and I did talk to him earlier
That was
today,
interesting.
and it was great to see him. It was great to do a show with him, and we're planning on, hopefully all of us could get together for a dinner at one of his favorite Italian places out in Pines, the Capriccio.
Okay.
Oh, nice
restaurant.
spot. I haven't been in a
Yeah.
long
I have
time.
never been. I'm open to
Oh,
it. I
so
love
we're
Italian.
trying to arrange a date, maybe some Friday in April, before he goes back north for the summer, this Vermont. But Tony, I'm not the food police. I don't like to food shame. I just do find certain things weird, and this was certainly weird. And I called him a food weirdo, and he accepted it. He had a fish sandwich, and do you know what he smeared on the top of this fish sandwich?
Mayonnaise.
No,
Mayonnaise
that's
is fine.
normal. People might
Tartar
not like it, but it's
sauce,
normal.
tartar is mayonnaise
It's ketchup.
based. There's garlic aioli, not ketchup, but you're close.
Mustard.
What's the condiment you hate the most?
He doesn't hate it.
Hate the most?
Yeah, no, he does hate.
Chinese mustard
No.
in a package.
No, he likes
that's
mustard.
all right. That's number. What's number 2? And you're on the right
this
track.
exact one. Yeah, this
It's
one.
in a package.
Oh, yellow mustard?
He hates yellow
French's
mustard.
yellow mustard in
no,
a packet.
on a
On
fish
fish.
sandwich?
On
Put it
fish.
on a piece of fish.
He
And
did
then
on fish.
Segreto.
He did it like it was
A
normal.
man of class and
Yeah.
distinction.
Yes.
now I've seen 8-year-olds put ketchup on
I
hot
hope you
dogs.
hit his hand before he put
Well,
it
No,
on.
People
look,
will put mustard into tuna. I saw that. Like, I don't know why, but I think Latin people. Like, I had a buddy in college, and Shirley will do it, where they'll put mustard into tuna. Well, that's one thing, but on like a fried fish sandwich,
like an actual nice piece of fish
Yeah, it was
that
nice.
was fried or grilled. Yeah, actually, he was cutting it and then he just smeared on.
I never heard of mustard on a fish.
I know, and I looked at him like, no, I've seen a lot of things. I've never seen that, and called him out on it. And I'm a food libertarian. You could do what you want with it.
All right, but
mean,
you're not happy with your daughter with ketchup.
No, you're
on
sort
it.
of
No,
judgmental.
but that's because it's my own progeny. I feel like I failed in some regard as a father of my
I knew you
DNA.
were
Like,
father.
And
You're
other
fine.
people do it, even though it's disgusting.
yeah, it's like
I think
I've
I-
never seen anybody put French's mustard on a
that
fish.
I've never seen.
uh,
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Mike Royko, the great Chicago columnist, at one point
He was bitter. He was a little bitter. at
But
the
he
end.
wrote a column one time because there was this recipe book put together by U.S. senators, and the senator from Chicago at the time, I think it was Carol something Braun, put together a recipe for a Chicago hot dog that included ketchup, which any Chicagoan knows that a Chicago hot dog only has
Tomato, right?
yellow mustard, chopped tomato, neon green relish, celery salt, one of these long pickle spears, and a couple of sport peppers. But this recipe had ketchup, and he was like, look, I'm of the feeling that it's any American's God-given right to put anything they want on a hot dog, including ketchup, chocolate syrup, toenail clippings, and cat hair. But don't be putting that in a recipe. For Chicago hot dogs. And so I'm of that opinion. You can put whatever you want on your hot dog, including chocolate syrup and toenail clippings. But
Bad toenail clippings I could live without. Stewart's inquiry right away. Objection. Flag should be raised. Are you really a Chicago hot dog fan? No.
Yeah, that's
If you're putting ketchup on there,
I
or
like the
mustard,
ketchup.
not mustard, but yeah, I mean, I never heard of it on fish. It doesn't surprise me with Segreto because he has certain idiosyncrasies that we've discovered And then being with him in person at the Texas Roadhouse restaurant in Miramar, he also can consume alcohol in
He
bizarre
drinks a lot.
combinations. He's having like
I wouldn't
red
pick him
wine
for a heavy
and
drinker.
whiskey.
He wasn't
seems
getting
like a healthy
annihilated,
guy,
but
like-
he had a few drinks, and
I think when he
held it
drinks,
well.
he goes all in.
That's
like,
good.
he just handled it well. Like if you're having 4
You wouldn't know he was
glasses
drinking.
of bourbon,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
you
he was
can't
going
tell.
hard brown liquor, and then he had some wine too, or
No,
what?
he had 4 glasses of bourbon, and you couldn't tell.
Four.
So
Man, that's a guy who could handle.
That's
it.
what I'm saying. If you've had that much and you're still, then it's like, okay, he drinks decent.
When I have look, 1 is great. It mellows me out, gets a little smile on my face. 2, I'm feeling like really good.
Yeah.
When I get to 3 and 4. 4, I start doing totally inappropriate things, and sometimes there is police activity.
Naked
involved.
Mayo running through the castle, hoping for another free dessert.
break out my Viking horns.
Oh my god.
Oh man, we're on the lunchbox. Hey, let's do a little break and kind of take things as it comes. We're here at Even Keel Fish Shack. We love them, but another place for seafood that is now at the top of my agenda and list is Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market in Hollywood. It's at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just south of Sterling Road and right around that whole cluster of Seminole Hard Rock activity. Did you see that? I sent you this morning. We're one day away from opening day of baseball. I was in the Hard Rock last night.
Oh yeah, really?
Playing a poker tournament. Yeah,
I haven't heard about that.
Yeah.
I really haven't.
And do you know who the Marlins are playing in the season
The
opener?
Mets.
The Mets, the New York Mets. And of course, there will be probably a 4-to-1 ratio of Mets fans to Marlins fans at the game tomorrow.
100%.
Apparently, a large contingent of New Yorkers, both here, and the ones that are actually traveling down from New York for the opener. A bunch of them are staying at the Hard Rock. They're having a reception tonight, like a season opener kickoff party
Down here.
at the Hard Rock Hollywood in a big ballroom, but basically it's going to be for Mets fans. There's no Marlins fan base to do this thing. Mookie Wilson's going to be there. Keith Hernandez is going to be there. So it just goes to show you that even
And we didn't even know their opening day was tomorrow.
Yeah, there's a possibility. This goes back to 1969. That if you see some real old geezer in the stands with a Met hat on that looks like it's well worn, I might have sold it to him.
you might have sold it to him, or it might be Ed Kranepool, and he actually might have been on that team. But
Number 7, he was
yeah.
great.
hey, anytime that you go to the casino for a daytime junket and you want to pick up some dinner, if maybe you made a nice score at the machines, there's nothing better
Right
than
there.
stopping into Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market and picking up some of their fresh product. I mean, God, it's only a few weeks left of stone crab season. I bought some the other week, for Michelle, and it was eaten and consumed. And I didn't get the thank you note. I got it indirectly from my daughter, but there's no better way to get to somebody's heart if they're a seafood lover than get some of those delicious large or jumbo stone crab claws. They'll crack them for you right in the store.
Well, and the way that they price them is different than most. Like their large is like most people's jumbo. Like their sizes
they are
were
very
freaking
generous
weird.
in their
like-
sizing. So yes,
We're like, oh my
That
god,
is
they gave
true,
us
yeah.
jumbos. They're like, no, this is the medium. We're like,
Yeah.
the medium. We're like,
their mediums look like large at most places. Their large look like a jumbo at most places, and that's the
And they have
Delaware
a jumbo
way.
too.
It's like buying a shirt. They come big, so they shrink.
For me, I need them big. But and don't forget, they got all the good prepared foods with the holidays coming up. The lamb chops, the lamb, the briskets
For
the
Joanne, they'll have your
Passover
gefilte
table.
fish or
Yeah,
things to make gefilte
they're
fish.
gonna have the gefilte fish. They don't forget to take out. They have soups and the fish
Yeah.
dips and the salmon dips, all for the holiday table. Perfect. Whether it's Passover or Easter that you're celebrating next week, Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market is the place to go for you. DelawareChicken.com, online for all the latest specials and offerings. And don't forget, they also do curbside pickup if you like. Go to DelawareChicken.com. Better yet, go to the store itself and tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, more from me, Even Keel, with the 3 great voices. We're like the 3 tenors. If you could get that helium working again. Coming back to Even Keel in a moment.
Looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more? Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets, they've got eggs Benedict, they've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally, and they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Go in there on a Wednesday. They got buy one, get one on cheesesteaks from 5 to 8 p.m. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox, Mayo, and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. You go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox, Mayo, and Defo sent. Lunchbox. We're on the road today and all week long. Today we're at Even Keel Fish Shack, and we're going to be bestowed upon.
Yes, bestowed
that's
upon.
some clunky phrase in there. We're going to be hit with some great dishes in a minute here from the inimitable, estimable Brad.
Bonnie's got the fish and chips, which I think
they're amazing,
comparable with any place you could ever get them, including London.
They do the beer batter with using the Red Stripe beer, hooray beer, and they use fresh
mahi
hunks of mahi that are just
Instead of your cod or whatever,
and a nice local fish. You know, a lot of people use the cod or the haddock, Alaskan pollock fish.
They're fine, but it's not mahi.
This is man. She's got. I almost dived in there because I did my walk of life. You'd be proud of me. 3.6 miles this morning along Hollyweird Beach and the Dania Pier, and so now, and I didn't eat anything, and I am raring to go. I am ready to dive into these dishes as soon as they get out here. But meanwhile, the rest of the week, let's remind people if you want to come out, we love having our viewers and listeners come out and support the restaurants that help support us.
Yes.
So. Tomorrow with Nikki Mohan and the Visit Lauderdale crew will be at Christina Wan's Mandarin House in the 600 block of North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, right in that shopping plaza that has a Winn-Dixie and Shuck and Dive restaurant.
Oh, yeah, Shuck and Dive.
That's tomorrow. Friday, we're going to be out at Gulfstream Park, fabulous Gulfstream, on the eve
Florida
of the
Derby.
2023 Florida Derby. I have not seen the draw. I don't know if this Super Horse Forte has scared off a lot of comers. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a short field, but I will look up the draw. But not only the Florida Derby, I think there's going to be like 8 or 9 other stakes races that day. Probably about 14 races on the card. So Saturday, you're going to need lots of money. So we're going to get our bankroll going on Friday with, of course, Joe Beja. I think he'll be back and joining us on the show. I know they, in conjunction with the Derby, they're going to be having another one of their food and beverage events up in that Flamingo room on the 3rd floor. And because I'm older, I know I saw a promotion sign for it. I completely forgot what it's going to be. But
those are always great. And you had the best idea yet for taking in the Florida Derby and the basketball games
this
that night.
Saturday,
Yeah.
you know, I hate to channel former presidents, but it's going to be huge and tremendous. I mean, this day is
And you're not lying.
spectacular. No,
No,
and
no,
I
it's a
am.
big day.
Yeah, you
For
can
South
trust
Florida?
me. Trust me when I tell you this.
There
That
you go.
this is.
That's
I guess
Soretta
it's going to
Silverline.
be one of the most glorious days in the history of South Florida, sports.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had the Heat win a championship before. One team on one day. The Marlins, the same thing. The Panthers have made some unlikely runs.
Yeah.
But to have 2 local teams, both of them you could call. Well, FAU is Cinderella. Miami is kind of, the redheaded stepchild, a program that's been on the verge and has some pedigree and past success, but nobody gives it any respect.
Nah.
But these 2 teams are going to be going at it, not each other. Hopefully, if they win and advance to the final, we could have an all South Florida final, but one step at a time. Saturday, I think the first game is also, it's about like 5 o'clock or
Yeah,
something.
it's like 5, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's like 6 something.
Yeah, 6 something, and then the second game follows that, and both those final 4
like
games.
6:10
6:09 and 8:49.
6:09 tap for the first one. Was that the FAU San Diego State
Yes.
game?
Yes.
And at the same time that the game is going to be
You have
played,
your Derby.
you're going to have the Florida Derby go off at about 6:44 p.m. It's a later post time because the sunset comes later, and I think it's going to be broadcast on either NBC or one of the NBC.
Yeah, usually NBC or
sports.
Peacock.
Yeah. So big day. And I say the best place to be is down at Gulfstream. They've got all kinds of places. You could hang out at 10 Palms with TVs, or the Carousel Club is a part, next door that they have kind of a younger, hipper vibe. And
I would think that's open all night. Because
yes,
yeah,
it is
I'm not sure about 10 Palms if they close down after the races.
They close after the races, but there's some restaurants in that Gulfstream Village area. But
there's ton Yard House.
Yard
There's
House,
a
you can
lot.
watch the
Christine
game.
Lee's.
You can hang out
Christine
with
Lee's
Christine
will
Lee's, have a
have
good
the
time,
games
yeah.
and more racing action.
They probably wouldn't want you to sit at the same table for 2 games, though.
No.
Unless you order.
Unless you're
Sports
drinking.
bar.
I mean, they're
But-
hanging out drinking.
Carousel Club, they are, prepared for that. People hanging out, getting a table, and just watching all the games. Man, and it's going to be just a great day of full activity. Man, too bad I'm on the wagon because it does sound appealing to have a
You
couple
can
of
take an
cocktails.
exception there.
Yeah, maybe I get the special
Yeah, you're a week
dispensation
away.
from,
You've
if
done
not the
good.
Pope, the local Cardinal, but the way he did the
But
corned beef.
you covered sports we were talking about today. I mean, you've witnessed a lot of things that seem far-fetched
I have.
here in South Florida.
I saw.
We were talking about all these bogus press conferences where guys supposedly quit jobs they loved.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
Yeah.
They feed you the cock and bull
Sure.
story.
Right, or that
Yeah.
we're going to win the World
chose
Series
to
this year
give
with
the
the
job
worst
to
team
Jimmy
in
Johnson.
baseball, the Marlins in '98. But this, I think, is the most impossible thing to ever have conceived of.
Now, look, we've heard some tall tales at
Yeah.
these press conferences, like Shula says, "Oh yeah, I've just decided to retire now."
You know
Give
what?
it to
We
Jimmy
really should get
Johnson.
Jimmy
And
in
give it
here.
to Jimmy
Yeah.
Johnson
Yeah.
of all people. Yeah.
And also all these Heat coaches stepping down, like you said, Stan
Ronnie
Van
Van
Gundy.
Weinstein
Gundy.
supposedly had a nervous breakdown. He's still composed as heck at 85 or whatever he is now.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
one thing to have these cock and bull stories. That's incredulous. Nobody believed that. But then there are the astounding stories that took place. The 90, was it? What year was that? 96 Panthers.
Panthers were
the
96.
Panther
Marlins were
run
97.
where they made it to the Stanley Cup Finals. They did not win. They actually got swept,
Swept,
which is
yeah.
kind of the bad ending to it. But the 97 Marlins was a little bit, I guess. Well, they were loaded for bear.
No, that
They
team
were
was supposed to win, but it was cool.
It was just cool to see that. I don't know. What else would you call unlikely down here?
Beating the Bears in
The
85. That was
yeah.
great.
Bears, yeah, they were
That was a
undefeated,
one-day
dominated,
Nobody
one.
not
believed
great.
that except Segredo was the only guy to believe that.
Well,
I don't know if he
predicted it.
believed it,
He just
but he
predicted
said,
it.
you know,
yeah.
he said that he was all in.
So anyway, with just the fact that they've both gotten to this point is pretty unbelievable.
Yes.
Especially when you consider the odds on FAU at the beginning of the season. I don't know what the odds were to reach the Final Four, but Jim Sarney reports that the odds to win the NCAA title was 250,000 to 1. So Final Four would be, I guess, 2 games away. I mean, to win the championship, 2 games away.
Yeah,
I would
2
imagine you could have gotten at least 50,000 to 1 on them making the Final Four.
That's crazy.
That's crazy talk. And the same thing at the beginning of the so look, let's just enjoy it, even
I
if
think
you
it's
don't.
amazing.
Don't you think like the team dentist put 100 on the team to win it all? Like when he was out in
Just for
Vegas
fun,
drunk and
yeah.
he went by the sports book, he said, "Yeah, let's put up." Now he's sitting 2 games away.
I don't know about the team dentist, but I certainly hope it like the team videographer, the guys who are kind of doing the grunt work and maybe, see something a little bit earlier. I mentioned videographers because a good friend of mine, his oldest brother from childhood, is the videographer long time for the University of Connecticut,
Oh,
the
interesting.
UConn Huskies.
They're
So he's
And
always
got action because they were long odds
Yeah,
too.
yeah, and I would imagine that David Kaplan would maybe have put a few shekels down preseason. Although I don't know if it's legal, that you can't be caught doing it. But I still remember that was the story I told about the Final Four over in St. Pete when it was UConn versus somebody. But my friend was in town with his brother and the whole contingent, and that's when we went to that entertainment venue called Mons Venus, and we saw that whole tangled pile of flesh, and at the bottom of it was one Reggie Jackson.
Mr. October.
Oh, that's
And
great.
that's my friend said, forget Mr. October. He's Mr. March.
That's March Madness right there.
Yeah, that's March Madness. Yeah.
He was in town because the Yankees were still in
Houston,
spring
not a
training.
bad food scene.
Houston's
Lubie and I
solid. Yeah,
discovered,
Houston's solid.
Now, here's the weird thing, Defo. I've been to like every major city and food outpost in America, with the exception of Houston, Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
have
interesting.
never been to
We were
Houston.
impressed.
We were there twice in the span of like 8 months.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we did Final Four, and then the Super Bowl was in Houston.
They have a great food scene and a lot influenced by a huge Asian and Vietnamese population. I don't think you want to be playing blackjack there anytime soon, Defo, but you do want to be eating at some of those great Vietnamese restaurants, and they do kind of a mashup of Vietnamese and Cajun. So they have a lot of kind of crawfish like our friend Tom T, but they do it in these spicy Asian broths with lemongrass and things
Excuse
like
me,
that.
I was distracted by spring break.
Okay. Spring break lives
Yeah.
on for
Girls
a
in
couple of months.
bikinis on the corner is always an attention getter.
Well, it's part of the scenery here at Even Keel
The
Fish
views
Shack.
are
We love it.
amazing here at Even Keel.
So where were we? I've
The
totally
food
lost
scene in
track.
Houston.
You were in
Yeah,
Houston.
See,
Okay.
as Eric's saying, I had barbecue there and I've had Tex-Mex there. I don't know if I had Asian. I wasn't going there
they've
for
got a
Vietnamese.
very vibrant food scene, and yes, as you mentioned, the things you usually associate with Texas, like the Tex-Mex and the barbecue. But Houston, because it's closer to the Gulf, and it has more of an international community, big
They
immigrant
did what's
community.
never done in sports, though, where you build arenas or stadiums, and they say, "Well, we're going to redo the area. It's not going to be a blot on society." But between the stadium and their basketball arena,
Yeah.
that's where all of the great
Minute
food.
Maid's there,
Oh,
too.
great.
The
Oh, they
baseball
actually-
park's right around there too. Like it's all NRG. It's all
So you
really
can
close to
actually
each other.
walk to the events.
That's
Yep.
good.
Yeah.
It's
Yep,
kind of
yep,
like Baltimore was when they first built
Camden
Camden
Yards.
Yards. They got that whole inner harbor area that has just a great selection of food, bars, nightlife, and all that. So it's good to see that they did something with a plan, just like they do in Miami.
Sure.
So,
Let's build an arena when we tear it
they
down.
do
It'll look like the
Miami.
empty lot that it was.
oh man!
and
But
build a new one
meanwhile,
right
I've
next to
never
it.
been to the new arena. Apparently, they built on campus at the University of Miami for
I've
the
been there,
basketball
yeah.
team, right?
Yeah.
And that's worked out quite well
Diva
because the
says it's
basketball
nice.
program, once you have your own on-campus little community, in terms of having an arena there that has a good crowd, and then all the students can just go there from their dorms. They don't have to schlep across the, up 95 or the causeway or whatever it is to get to
Take your
whatever
Metro
arenas.
fail.
Metro
Yeah.
movers, Metro
Yeah.
fails. But no, that's it's always good to have that good, vibrant on-campus scene. But we wish everybody well in Houston, And we hope nobody gets stuck in elevators like the University
That was a great story
of Miami
by
did.
Jim Larinaga.
Yeah.
There he
And his
is.
way of reacting to it was even
Talking
more
about food
sensational.
scenes.
Oh, look at
Okay,
this
you're
guy.
perfect. All right, let's
Wow.
get this over here. Let's clear a space. Brad is here. Have no fear.
Come on, buddy.
And yeah, even though we're here at Even Keel, which is known for their seafood, and
my
here we
God,
got some of the
look out.
beautiful scallops.
Wow.
I
that's
asked
me.
Brad to hit us up
And
with
ask him
a
what's in
burger.
that,
All right.
that garnish.
Brad is going to give a cameo appearance because he's very busy. back
I
there.
actually forgot I'm the only one cooking today.
The
so
swordfish,
that's
yeah.
the other problem.
Well,
too.
yeah, and I see people in
And
here,
there's
so
actually
we don't want
people
them to
here.
get backed up. All right, so thanks for having us again, as
My
usual.
pleasure.
What do
My
we
pleasure.
have? What do we
Good to see you,
have,
buddy.
Brad?
bad,
Okay.
bad right hand.
And bad voice too. What?
Bad, but he's broken down.
You know, I'm a mess right now.
If he was a
It's
horse-
either one of you guys is always.
If he was a horse, I'd get the needle out already. It's all.
Okay, real quick. So I wanted to just showcase a couple that we did a couple menu changes for the spring. Even Keel, we're actually constantly keeping things in rotation. It's
Season.
not. It's but there's more than just 4 seasons in Florida. There's an early spring, a late spring, an early summer, a late summer, an early fall,
wow.
a late fall. You know what I mean? It's very temperate. It's actually very temperate. So anyway, for early spring, we did our new scallop dish. I've got some crispy pork belly on this.
Wow.
That's a sunchoke puree on the bottom.
He's so good.
I've got some. I made a blueberry barbecue sauce for the blueberry barbecue sauce
with the
for
scallops.
with the
That's
scallops
brilliant.
for the pork belly. There's some braised
love this
mushroom
stuff.
and then some sunburst squash, which is a seasonal squash in Florida, and some English peas with some shaved asparagus on top. Very,
Did
very
you
springy,
get all
very
that down? There's
springy.
going to be a quiz later.
You know,
Defo.
I always love that.
That's
I
great.
mentioned
The
that before.
blueberry.
The blueberry.
Come on.
Wait till you try the
And
blueberry
that's
with
just
the
for the
pork
schmear.
belly.
That's
Yeah.
one of those things that just looks outrageously good with pork belly and the you get
And
the
the scallop.
pork and the
Right,
scallop
right.
and the sunchoke. Wow, that's a
Very, very good
knockout.
dish. This again, and the scallops are from Nantucket. This is local swordfish. On the bottom, I did a celery root, which is not related to celery at all, but actually does have kind of it's got to give a celery and potato had a kid. That's kind of where that comes from.
Okay.
But very, very light. And I made a sweet corn succotash for underneath that, which hopefully in the next maybe month or so, we're going to start getting some corn from Zellwood down in Homestead. Hopefully.
Nice.
Hopefully.
Succotash.
Succotash. Suffering succotash. That's got a little bit of the Benton's bacon in it as well, with some tomatoes and sweet peppers.
The guy's crazy.
And
Look at
then
that.
we did pea shoots with a real simple salad, pea shoots with the toasted almonds on top.
And then I made this special
And you made the request for the
because Burger Beast is having his hamburger house party this weekend. It put burgers on my mind when we talked to him yesterday, and I told him, even though it's a seafood
Our
specializing
burger
place,
is pretty out of this
your
world.
double smash burger is
It's-
something special.
And it's dry aged sirloin. I wanted to give a shout out to the guys at Sunshine Provisions. They
yeah,
actually
Mike
have
and Evan,
the
our
Mike and
friends,
Evan, and
yeah,
our rep John is fantastic. They have a burger laboratory up in their shop up
their
there.
new
where
location.
You can make a burger patty pretty much out of anything.
Okay.
And they're constantly bugging us about trying to go up there and check it out, which we need to do. But our burger from our burger meat from them, and that also has the Ben's bacon from. If you don't know where Ben's is, it's in Madisonville,
Tennessee.
Tennessee, just south of Knoxville. It takes 1 month to take a pork belly into making it bacon.
Wow.
So some of these other places, it's a few days. They cure for a couple. No. These
No,
guys,
they
these guys
are-
do it all out. They're curing, smoking, curing, hanging, curing, smoking. I mean, it's
They are
insane.
serious artisans.
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I don't know how you don't get Beard Award recognition. I know a bunch of your friends are on
It's all
pins
right.
and
I think
needles
our
right
concept's
now.
a little bit different, but shout out to all those guys, Jeremy
The
and Even.
food here is
yeah,
every bit as good as any of those highfalutin places.
Yeah,
that are
yeah. We just
a little
do-
bit more.
It's just a different atmosphere here.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and we love
our,
it.
our love and passion is still the same.
I genuflect before you. I'll let you get back to the
Enjoy.
kitchen. We
You
appreciate
guys are my
as
heroes. Love you guys. Thank
Great
you so
stuff,
much,
great
Lubie.
stuff.
You're the man.
Dig in,
All right.
Mayo, dig in.
I'm gonna dig in. I'm
You
gonna
gotta be
do,
the guinea pig.
and I'm gonna be very dainty and almost
Or
Nicky
can I-
Mohan like
can I
because no,
dish it
I'm
out?
gonna
No,
do this because
we're
I'm a
not gonna have me
professional.
dish it.
Can we get
What
some
I'm doing
food?
is I'm kind of chopping up this pork belly cube, which is like if you don't know what this is like a
So
compressed.
the Ben's bacon is actually like a pork belly
well,
kind of a
this is
cube
pork
kind of.
belly, and then the bacon is
Oh,
on this one.
okay.
This has the blueberry and the pork belly, but I'm gonna kind of mix it up and crisp it up where you get like a bite of the sunchoke base cream with some of these fresh mushrooms and the pork, and it's just a flavor
Wow, look at that.
explosion.
That actually
Some-
seems like the perfect word. A flavor explosion.
It's a-
I thought, I'm like, what kind of barbecue sauce is that?
Notice
like,
the
it's a
Jewish kid went
blueberry.
right for the pork.
No, well, I've got a mix. I did kind of the mixed bite of what each component.
That
and we'll see how it
swordfish
goes.
looks
Some of this
outrageous.
swordfish.
Yeah.
I know, Segredo, this is for you. I know you're a big swordfish
No
fan.
mustard on there. You got a French's package?
No, and
No,
as much as I love Tony, and it was great seeing him,
yeah,
if
no.
he tried to put yellow mustard on this
You'd
piece
be
of
kicked
fish,
out of the
I
place.
I would play food police. I'd slap handcuffs on him
like
and
Segredo,
force
no.
feed
Did you
him.
love it though? I mean, the corn succotash.
Yeah, what is it?
Just this, this little,
My two
added
favorite-
touch here. Unbelievable.
My two favorite food words are succotash and sassafras. So
Dig
here we
in there,
go.
Louie. Dig in.
Hear me, I'm
The
cutting this up
scallops
straight.
is
I'm gonna try a
outstanding.
scallop, yeah.
This is nice
That
and soft.
blueberry bite with the pork belly, which is like a crispy, crunchy pork belly. I mean, I'm usually not a big fan of the sweet, savory thing, but when you're using really good ingredients
I mean, it's
and you
Brad,
have
what are
like
you gonna-
the
you're not gonna-
blueberries, and it's just you could tell this is not processed stuff. This they're making in house. They're taking fresh blueberries. They're making the sauces from scratch, and it's just absolutely delicious. And then you've got the peas and ramps and all these spring vegetables, and it just tastes like spring.
Oh,
Oh my God.
cut some of this up
Oh
to
my God.
swordfish.
That's so good.
Yeah.
All right. Lubie gave me some of the swordfish. I'm going to go in and
We're
get
done
some of the
on there.
base. Yeah.
We
And
got
put some out there.
Bonnie sneaking in,
I'm sorry.
sneaking in the back door here. Wait,
And
there's more.
I apologize to the audience out there. This is totally rude. It goes against every concept in broadcasting
Look at
101.
this,
I shouldn't be eating with my mouth full.
this cross
Talking.
section
You
of
can eat
the
your mouth full and
swordfish.
you can talk with your mouth
Is a great picture. Man.
And oh man, that swordfish it's so fresh. It gets it. There's some local fishermen, local boaters who have licenses to
I mean,
sell.
Here,
They get
Devo.
this. The swordfish
Some of this, Devo.
is running beautifully.
That is great.
No, it's cooked perfectly. It's like
Oh,
you
there's-
know,
Go here.
oh, thank
It's like it's
I know the word
Ben's
moist
bacon.
gets overused and abused, but
I mean,
that
it
is a perfectly cooked piece of swordfish that is moist. It's kind of like spongy. Like when you bite down on it, it's not like firm like a piece of chicken or steak. It just like has this sponginess and it bursts out this fish flavor into your mouth, along with all the other accoutrements of the corn succotash and that base of the celery root, and then lovely spring greens up here. They blow me away with the level of food, and like you said, it's casual atmosphere. And
That's what I love is that and look, we talk about the Catherine. We finer places. Tropical Acres has a nice dinner feel, and you dress up a little bit. But I like you can get this quality of ingredients, this level of presentation, and then wear sandals and shorts,
Right.
and like the beach is right there. Like
Right.
I think it's really cool. And
a
to me,
frozen drinky slushy machine with
frozen
little
drink.
umbrellas.
to me, it's like the epitome of
Wait, one
South
thing.
Florida.
I
Like,
gotta get. All right, I'm not gonna use my fingers.
what do you
Can
want?
you do me a
Some
favor?
of the top. The thing
I
from
just
the
want a
top?
little bit of the greens because they
That
look
bacon
so.
does have a unique flavor to it too.
Oh, the Benton's bacon
Yeah,
is
yeah.
unbelievable, and that whole flavor profile where you get the smoky porky with the fresh seafood, the
Very
briny
nice,
seafood.
yeah.
It's like I think it works perfectly.
Well, that's something Brad does well. Is he combines different things
They know
that
they
you
are
always don't think about,
they're,
and they
they're
mix
mad
really well.
scientists of the kitchen. They are alchemists where they take these totally disparate ingredients and you wouldn't think that they go together, but they do.
They go extremely
And
well.
Man, that is the best piece of bacon I think I've ever tasted.
That was really something.
And
yeah.
with the swordfish, this local beautiful swordfish with the Tennessee Benton's bacon, I mean, I'm in heaven. So that's
Yeah,
it.
you wouldn't expect, like Lubie said, this kind of presentation, this level of quality,
Plays by the beach.
this level of expertise and preparation, and the amount of detail that they pay attention to in putting together something as simple as the sauce or what basically is a garnish. So delicious, it's unbelievable.
And that's the thing.
At a corner food stand.
The thoughtfulness that goes into every component
Yeah.
of every dish. And that's one thing that, I've always been singing the praises here since they first opened in a different location is that you could tell these guys are like serious chefs.
Yeah, he's a
serious
chef. He's a
foodie
real deal
chefs.
chef.
But they also have the right vibe and the right attitude. And I really urge everybody, if you haven't come out here yet,
No, it's a blast. And
Give
the
'em a
happy hour is
chance.
amazing.
they
Happy
have their
hour
happy
is
hours.
tremendous.
Yeah, some great deals on some of
And
the
the brunch
things.
is really good. Like I wasn't weary because I know Brad and them, they're not going to do anything if they're not going to do it well. But I wasn't sure. I think of it as a seafood place, but we came out for Shirley's birthday, and then we came out here with her parents, and it was amazing. The
Yeah, it
brunch
was
was
great.
spectacular.
Hey, you know what else is great is I went last night. I got busted out of a poker tournament early at the Hard Rock, and I was hungry, and I said, you know what? Right on the way home, one of my favorite spots, Tropical Acres. I sent you the pictures last night, boys.
Yeah, I saw
I just
it.
ordered
that prime rib, man.
at the bar. I
That
ordered
was
a
ridiculous.
simple piece of prime rib. They're regular cut, 10 ounces, medium rare, and out came this slab of juicy, well marbled beef that was one side. Again, because prime rib is roasted, so sometimes it doesn't come out totally even the way maybe like a grilled steak does. So
Yeah.
on one side, which was the key part,
That's what
which
you
has
want,
the spinalis, that ribbon, the very flavorful part,
Yeah.
completely like almost on the edge of like rare plus, but
Yep.
it's almost medium rare. It was
Yeah, but
perfect.
that's prime rib. That's what
And
prime
then
rib
the
is supposed to
center part was more of the like medium rare to medium, and it was juicy. But I think what also Jack Studial explained to me one time is that it comes out totally pink and consistent, but they ladle on some of the au jus,
be. Yeah,
and it
cooks a
kind
little
of
more.
changes the color a little bit, and it maybe cooks the exterior a little more. But when I bit into that thing, oh my God, it was so tender.
They look perfect.
And all I was thinking is like, what a schmuck Dickstein is, because he goes there, orders an end cut well done. I was like, what are you doing? It's like not as bad, maybe. Well, no, it is as bad.
No,
it's
it's
worse
bad. No,
as
it's
as
bad.
ordering a steak at a Greek restaurant.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know you hammer me on this, Defo, but if you're going to go to a place, set yourself up to get the best
yeah.
presentation possible. And when you're dealing with, the prime rib at Tropical Acres, medium rare is
Yeah, just
my
leave
way
it.
to go. And
That looked beautiful.
That looked
good.
it was
perfect.
great. As usual, the service at the bar, exceptional. I got my side dish, my cream spinach was also exceptionally good. The salad, it all came together. And again, where do you get like a great
You went
prime
on
rib
a
dinner?
Tuesday night. You're not drinking right now, but
Right.
you went on a
It was
Tuesday
half
night.
price wine night. Everybody around me had bottles of wine that was half price. I was a good boy. I had my club soda. You know what they charged me for the club soda at Tropical Acres last night? The Big Goose Ale.
Zero, exactly.
So that was kind of them also. And it was great to have a full, dinner with a side and a salad for under $50, including tax and tip.
At a nice place.
So
I mean, it
at
is
a nice place. And besides that, if you're into the, whatever cut of steak, the filet mignon, they have rack of lamb, they have the seafood. Pretty soon it's going to be time for the
The lobster
the
fest.
twin
So we'll have to do
lobster
another meeting
special
then, because
from
that's what I wait
Maine.
for.
Love that. And I was talking to Joe Studiali, Jack's son, last night, was working the front, the maitre d'. I said, do you still got availability for Easter? He says, yes, we do.
Oh, cool.
So what you're
Next
going to want to
Sunday.
do
A week from Sunday.
a week from Sunday is one of the rare Sundays they're open during the calendar year, 1 to 8 p.m. on Easter Sunday. Give them a
Nice.
call.
Yeah, make a
Get your-
reservation.
yeah, definitely reservations strongly suggested for Easter Sunday, 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Tropical Acres. Otherwise, they're open every day, Monday through Saturday. And of course, you've got all different specials, happy hour on the bar. We love Tropical Acres, 2500 Griffin Road, just west of the
Yeah, that
airport and I-95. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, great stuff here at Even Keel. I don't know what's better.
I'm going to go for my burger now.
We have to get Bonnie to sample that pork. Was
Oh,
fantastic.
it's unbelievable.
The
Everything.
bacon that they used, amazing. The swordfish, right on the money.
That was
And you
really
guys
nice.
are chowing on the burgers. So we'll have more from Even Keel in a moment.
Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all. Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Do you like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, Even Keel Fish Shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you.
Oh, we're back here on the Lunchbox, and I am attacking these plates with gusto. You'd think I hadn't
He
eaten.
was not wrong. Like, your plate's never finished. Like, you always, like, half eat.
I always like to.
It always looks like the kids.
Like a 6-year-old. Like,
yeah,
sort
like
of
you bring your
pick that
5-year-old to a fancy restaurant. You know it's a big mistake. You give them a little of everything, they don't eat any of it.
Award-winning food critic, ladies and gentlemen.
I
That's
know,
me,
I know,
who
it's so
eats
weird.
like a 3-year-old. But I'm not putting yellow mustard on my
No, you're not.
swordfish here.
Leave Segredo
Tony
alone. He's
Segredo.
old. He's
No,
old.
he's
He's
He's older than I am.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That must be pretty old.
He's losing it. He doesn't even know it's
No,
not.
he says he's been doing it for years.
He thinks it's a
I'm
cheeseburger.
losing it because I can't stop eating this swordfish with that Benton's bacon.
Wow.
But what I will say for Even Keel, and another place that is proving Mayo wrong, because I wouldn't go to Even Keel Fish Shack right by the beach in Lauderdale by the Sea and think to get a burger. But we were talking with Burger Beast yesterday, and his event, yes, amazing. The hamburger house party is this Friday, right outside the
Magic City Casino. It's in one of the ballrooms there. Yeah.
or inside the Magic City Casino. So we were talking about burgers. We're going to be here, and they do a double smash burger. We haven't had it yet. So we now have, I would not think to order it here. You can feel free to order it because it's as good as anything else they have here.
Again, like everything
You
they
might
do,
even get a pass from Mayo.
every component is considered. They've got the Benton's bacon on it. They have this some sort of special sauce on it that, and it looks like
Yeah,
some
it's like,
caramelized onions,
The
and
caramelized onions were
and
great.
it's just like a great bite. And look, Brad and Dave, they realize there are people out there who don't like seafood, who can't eat seafood, who are
Yep.
allergic to
Just
seafood.
like they have a chicken here that we enjoy, the roasted
So,
chicken.
Yeah, they have to have certain items that accommodate the landlubbers, and they have the hot chicken sandwich. They have some other things, but their double smash burger is worthy with hand cut fries. Again, that's it. Every
I like
component,
hand-cut fries, yeah.
they hand cut their own fries. Like even when you order a Bloody Mary here, not that I could today, but on the
Next time, you've done it many
occasions
times,
where I
right?
do imbibe on the Bloody Mary, they. How many places do this these days? They actually peel the celery so that when you bite into the accompanying stalk of celery in your Bloody Mary, you don't have all those chewy bits of the outer skin.
That's interesting.
And these are the little
Yeah, the
things
attention to
that
detail.
that well-known and well-regarded chefs do. And I hate to sound like a broken record and a shill, but there's a reason why it is Lunchbox approved and Gambling Gourmet approved, because they are doing it right here.
This is high end. I mean, it's great for the money too.
Well, that's the thing.
They're
Like,
not priced. You would go to a white cloth, tablecloth restaurant
Yeah, you
that serves something like this and expect to pay 2-3 times as much.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
These are at most places along the water on the A1A are $50-$60 dishes.
What's
And
that
here-
place that you're a big fan of that's on the Intercoastal? Supposed to be the greatest.
Mastros.
Yeah.
The Mastros of Disastros is no. I mean, that's just one of those places where people want to see and be seen, and they have all this high-end luxury product, crab legs. It's all coming in frozen in cryovac bags. Here, they're getting fish
You can tell
fresh
it's fresh.
off the pier.
you can tell this is
swordfish,
fresh. Yeah,
you
like,
know
you
it
can just
is.
taste
That's
the
the real deal, and they pride
I
themselves.
think Brad, I saw him have like boots on. I think he was wading in the ocean. And
I've seen him go clam digging and looking for oysters. Yeah, it happens. I can't stop eating. I should stop eating. It is the Lunchbox. I do want to talk about our friends at Visit Lauderdale.
Tomorrow.
Becky Mohan, I'm so excited to see her. She was on one of her business trips this week. I got it wrong. Believe it or not, she was in a Lake Charles, Louisiana, staying at I guess, a hotel for this meeting. Was at what was it? The Golden Nugget. They have a
the Golden
casino
Nugget
in
of
Lake
all
Charles,
places.
Louisiana.
Yeah.
And I told her to put some on 17 Black for me. She says she is avoiding the casinos, which I don't know if you or me
That's
would
a
have.
mistake.
Never
No,
should know
I,
it.
I can't go along with that.
I would not have that kind of
That's
discipline.
a mistake.
But Visit Lauderdale. Necky's back in town tomorrow, and we're going to be at the Christina Juan celebrating the end of Women's History Month. But I mean, God, we always celebrate women and what they've done, and they hold households together. And there's a good bunch of them that are, behind the scenes, owning, operating, and cooking at various restaurants in town. And Christina Juan's is one of them. Christina has been a restaurateur for over 4 decades now. So looking forward to that. And it's all part of the Greater Fort Lauderdale welcoming everyone under the sun. And that means every dish under the sun, every flavor under the sun for all the foodies out there. So come one, come all, check it out. Get ready to savor every moment from the dockside dining and the waterfront dining along here in Lauderdale by the sea, down all the way into Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood Beach. And then, of course, we've got some of the major boulevards. Pompano Beach has become the happening spot. Atlantic Boulevard near you. Not only our friend Ken at the Foundry, but
there's a lot going on there.
that new food hall.
Yeah.
And
It's
just
called Bite Eatery.
Bite Eatery. We'll probably be
Everybody's
getting
raving
out
about
there
it. We
soon.
have to go there.
And of course, our friend, we got to say congrats to Chef Sam at the Rabbit Hole where we paid a visit. I see that Yelp, every year they release an annual top 100 in Florida list. And Rabbit Hole got a really high ranking, I think number 19 in Florida on the Yelp list. So good for them. And a couple other places that I was very pleased to see recognized there, including Neron's Kitchen, which is that remember, it was the Laotian restaurant that we went to with Necky.
That was good. Yeah,
that
was really
made the top 100. That was kind of like similar to Thai food, but a little bit different. But they made the Yelp list.
They were
and
great
that
to us,
was also featured on the Visit Lauderdale segment here with Necky Mohan. So all these things going on in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Come stay and play here. Get ready to discover taste sensations at more than 4,000 area restaurants. And, of course, don't forget the whole nightlife scene, the Visit Lauderdale Ale Trail, all the local microbreweries, along with rooftop bars, speakeasies, expert mixologists. It's a never-ending culinary and libation celebration in Greater Fort Lauderdale, and everyone's invited to the party. And we just wrapping up a big party with spring break, not to mention the Tortuga Festival coming up in a few weeks. There's going to be a lot of visitors. So, again, for more information about all the events and happenings and deals, go to visitlauderdale.com.
Got to get in a plug for my man Al Poliak, Funky Biscuit.
Oh,
You've had the food there.
Albert.
You gave a thumbs up to a couple of the dishes. Not everything is necessarily going to be
For a
Shack,
food
but
place, I mean, for a live music venue, the food was
they
great.
have their, I want to say it's their 11th Biscuit Fest anniversary
nice.
coming up this weekend. And some great bands. I mean, they bring in the best of the best. I was there last week, caught the Blood Brothers, sensational band with Mike Zito, Albert Castillo, a local musician. And they're doing a great job there. That's going to go all weekend long. It's going to be a great festive thing.
Excellent.
And you got a couple of other restaurants that you wanted to try there. A table 2020 table.
Yep.
Right by there. And
there's
that,
a Japanese
whatever
place
that
right
Japanese steakhouse is, and the other place right across from there, which I'm not sure. It's been a few different things. Thriving also.
They also just opened in that area an outpost of American Tapas, which is right here on Commercial Boulevard.
Oh, yeah.
That I've been to that I like a lot. It
Very
has
good.
kind of like, the tapas style small plates that you can
I
share.
love American tapas.
But it's like American comfort food instead of the usual Spanish tapas.
Or it's a bunch of different kinds of things.
But
which is
they
The E-Tapas is excellent. by the way, too.
E-Tapas is the more traditional. But then we have American Tapas here on Commercial, but they just opened one there in that whole area right next to the Funky Biscuit
nice.
in
A little bit
Boca
more north.
Raton near that Meisner Plaza area. So you can go check that out. again, there's never a shortage of places to eat, as my ever-expanding waistline is a testament to. So
Keep
hey,
the walk going. Keep the walk.
Yes,
I like the
just
walking.
walk
The walking is
and
good.
limit the drinking, but doesn't you have to get rid of the drinking?
And
but
we'll
leave
keep
that
the
alone.
poker winning going too, so we
Yes.
can keep feeding this expensive habit. Well, it's not expensive at certain places like even Keel
Exactly.
or Tropical Acres. That's why you got to mix it up. Sometimes you go high end, sometimes you go in the middle.
Yeah, that Carbone was a little over the top.
Carbone was
Yeah,
Carbone is maybe a
that
once
should
in
have
a
come with a
lifetime.
lap dance. There's no doubt about it.
Not with my 17-year-old
Yeah.
daughter.
Yeah.
Thank you. We were
Unbelievable.
very happy with the platonic version. And hey, we didn't get to some things but whatever. We've got plenty of time. We'll see you tomorrow. Christina Wands, come on out for Jeff Defo Forest. Your voice, it sounds like it's getting there.
It'll get better.
It'll be all right tomorrow.
It'll get better.
Yeah.
And Mike Lubitz, his voice,
It is what it is.
it ain't getting any better or worse. I like it.
This
You know
is
what?
my
It's
voice.
become
It
It is
grows
who I
on you, it
am.
really does.
I mean,
It-
it's been
It becomes
12 years on air. It's
It
not
is what it
changing.
is, as they say, and I accept it. For some people, it's an acquired taste, but I'm
Sorry.
digging it. I'm digging it as much as this pork belly and scallop
It's
dish.
kind of
We left you a
even
few
I
Keel
don't know
fish.
if you had to choose one or the other. Which dish would you go with?
I'll probably go that because I have a soft spot for pork belly. I really do like
So
pork
you
belly
like the
and
scallop
scallops.
dish? I'm going with the swordfish and bacon.
It
To
was
me, it's a
nice.
little bit cleaner, simpler.
Yeah, it was nice, but I like pork
but
belly.
man, you can't go wrong with either one of those.
Oh,
right?
awesome stuff today. Awesome.
All right, thanks to everybody. Thanks to Brad and Dave.
Yeah.
Thanks to Bonnie for coming out.
Yep, and check out Even Keel Fish Shack. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
check out Even Keel. We'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy everything, every plate, every sandwich, every burger. Later.
Beans, pudding, and salad.